All right, we're going to focus on quads, maybe a little bit of glutes in this sequence here. We're starting off in a tabletop, just inhaling and exhaling for cows and cats, working on the pelvis movement, the spine, just a couple times. And then I'm going to exhale and sit all the way back into my child's pose. And with an inhale, rise. High kneeling, less of a back bend. I'm pressing my hips forward, lengthening the front of the thighs. And then exhale, bowing down. What I'll do from here now is glide through. What I want to make sure is that my forearms and elbows come off the mat as I pull through with my hands to a cobra pose. First one, I like to move around, hips side to side. Now I'm just going to repeat that a couple times. Exhale, sitting back into a child's. Inhale, rising. Exhale, bowing right back down. Taking an inhale, coming through. And an exhale to sit back. Inhale, hips pressing to the front of the mat. Exhale, bowing right back down. Inhale, coming through cobra. Now this round I go to a downward facing dog. Just pedaling the dog a few times, walking it left to right. And then I'm going to lower down onto the knees, tabletop. Left leg extends back. I start with the ball of the foot on the mat. From here, I pull in through the lower ribs and press through the hands. Left knee bends, I reach back and grab. Now as I push down through foot and hand, I can give a little lift for 3, 2, and 1. Place the right hand down, extend the left leg back. So we just a little prep, a little stretch for that left quadricep. Now I'm going to go right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Stepping right foot forward into a runner's lunge, letting my hips sink before the back knee comes down, left foot pressing into the ground, Anjaneyasana. So hip points pulling up, feel the tailbone tuck, the bottom ribs draw in. Exhaling, hands to the mat, Chaturanga. Inhaling up, exhales down. I'll come forward to a tabletop, right leg extends back, pushing through the hands. Bend, then grab. Kick the foot as you push down into the mat. 3, 2, 1. I extend the right leg back, toes come down. Left leg lifts, 3-legged dog. Stepping up, left thumb, runner's lunge. Hips down before the knee touches the ground. Top of right foot, reaching up, pulling front ribs in, keeping squared in the hips. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhaling up, exhales down. Now, we're going to add on to this, right leg lifts, squared hips, neutral pelvis. I'm stepping my right toes to my right wrist. This ensures that when I spin my back foot flat, I have a wide enough stance. Now, what I tend to see is a lot of people's hips shifting toward the front foot side. So I want to move my hips the other way to the left. Now, with an inhale breath, I can rise up for my warrior 1. Same thing as crescent lunge. I'm pulling the hip points up. Back foot edge is going to press, and I want to feel that back thigh spiraling forward. I'll exhale, lean forward, and then on an inhale, straighten the front leg. Now I can lengthen the front of the right hip a little bit. Exhale, hands to the mat. Okay, now I'm going to pivot onto the ball of the back foot. Rotate my right toes out as I come around. Reach and grab. Good. I'm pressing the inner thigh toward the mat, drawing left shoulder back. Now, I'm going to invite you to pull the heel toward the butt, get more of a stretch in the quadricep on the left. Okay? Great. Releasing that right hand to the mat, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. We're stepping toes to wrist. Back foot flat. I widen my stance a little bit, and I move my hips to the right because my foot, the front foot, that's the direction the hip tends to move to. So I shift the hips to the right, warrior 1. Hip points up, back foot press. When I press through the back foot, I want to create an inward rotation of the thigh. On an exhale, hands sweep behind. Clearing it out, inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands down. Now I pivot onto the ball of the foot, so I have this wide stance. Toes come out, back knee down, reach around. Noticing if your shoulder moves inward, move it back. And notice if there's a tendency to drop to the right hip. Press the inner thigh toward the mat. Squeeze the heel in toward the butt. 3, 2, hand to the mat. Downward facing dog. All right, next thing, right foot is stepping to right thumb, runner's lunge. Okay, what we're working on here is a little bit of strength in the hip. So it goes like this. I'm going to bring my left knee forward into a Shiva stance, but it's not going to go behind. It's going to go to the inside. My right knee will shift forward and stay bent the whole time. Hands are to heart center, chest lifts. Okay, from here, I'm going to slowly press through the earth and rise. Left knee to the chest. Woo. Arms up overhead. I'll take my right hand, grab the left foot, and give a kick. Revolve dancer. Hug the knee inward. Keep your gaze forward. 3, 2, 1. Tilt it down, hands to the ground. I'm in a standing split. Now I'm going to step all the way back and go three-legged dog. Just shake out that right leg, that right glute. And then I'll add a stretch. Right knee to elbow, pigeon pose. Now remember, when we go to pigeon, we don't move the foot forward. We move the knee out to the side. Then I shift my pelvis back into this. And to get more, be more relative to what we're working on, I can still stretch into my hip as I'm here and add an extra stretch to the left quadricep. Hand to the mat, downward facing dog. Okay, left leg lifts. I step to the thumb, runner's lunge. Now I want my knee to shift forward, but I want to keep the deep bend. Right knee comes forward, Shiva stance. I find my prayer hands. I take any rounding out of the back by lifting the tailbone up and bringing the heart to the front. Now I'm going to root through this foot as I rise, knee to chest, arm overhead. Left hand reaches for the right foot behind, and I move into my revolve dancer. Less revolve today because I'm not adding the twist, but I am opposite hand grab. Hugging the knee for 3, 2, diving down, hands to the ground, standing split, stay with it. And then big step all the way back. Now I'm going to shake out this leg because that glute is feeling it. Shake it, and then I'll go knee to elbow. Rotating hip, pigeon. Without moving the foot, I move the knee, then shift the hips. Now I'm upright, getting the stretch in the hip and hip flexor quadricep. Right knee bends, right hand grabs. After that, downward facing dog. One last little bit. Right foot comes forward, left knee lowers. Now check this. As I lower, I top press into the top foot and straighten into the front leg. I want this leg to remain straight, this knee to be under my hip, but I need my pelvis to move forward. Right hand reaches back. Now maybe you go to a block, maybe you go to your foot, maybe you go to the mat. Left arm is reaching back. 3, 2, now I'm going to lunge forward momentarily, 1, and then I'm going to shift, sliding my left knee forward a little bit, grabbing my calf, sitting back for half hero reclined. Now, you might have been told at some time to bring your knees together for hero pose. I'm adamantly against that. Really unsafe for the inner knee joint, for the hip as well. So just allow that left knee to align with your hip. You don't have to bring it inward at all. Those of you that can lie all the way flat onto your back, make sure you're pulling your lower ribs to the floor. If you want to add more, you would pull your right knee into your chest. As you can see, this stretch is already enough for me in my quadricep. I get it good here, but I still want to engage the core. Engaging the core is always going to give us more. Awesome. Coming forward, shifting to the front, stepping back. Left leg comes forward, right knee to the mat. Right foot presses, left leg extends. Now, I want my pelvis not to be hinged like this, but for the pelvis to go forward as I reach back, maybe to the block, to the ground, to the foot for 3, 2. Now I'm going to lunge forward and slide the back knee up a bit. I'll grab my calf and move it as I sit back. Remember, we do not need to bring the knees together. In fact, I'm adamantly against that. Keep your knee aligned with your hip, recline. If you need more, hug your knee to your chest if you're lying flat, and always core to access more stretch. Now, the great thing about lengthening the front of the hips is it also prepares us for back bending. So we can do that next. I'm going to jump through to a seat onto our back. So if you're feeling really good, ready for it, front of the hips are open, bridge, upward facing bow here to finish. Even just this bridge, I feel like it's a lot more freedom, more space for me. Even if I'm not going to upward bow, you may be going to upward facing bow, Urdhva Dhanurasana wheel. Give yourself plenty of time if you want to add back bends in the space. When we are done, we're going to internally and externally rotate the windshield wipering of the legs, adding last little bit of stretch to the hip flexor group. So I'm going to take both knees to the right. My right foot crosses on top of left thigh. Notice how this left hip and my back comes off the mat. I'm not going to get this hip to come down, but I am going to pull the lower ribs to the floor to get more of a stretch in this TFL, tensor fascia lata. Bringing it back to center. Feet are wider than my hips. Knees windshield wiper to the left. Left foot crosses. So if you notice you're going to this big arch in your lower back, just pull the ribs in, find that engagement. And as we come back around to center, let's walk the feet together. Knees out wide, arms by your sides. All right, I love this little sequence. Strengthening, stretching, giving me exactly what I need. Lengthening the front of the hips, stretching the quadriceps. All right, Shavasana, or anything else you want to add to that. Have a great practice on your mat.